Let's go. I'm Aisha Protlier with Eric Jenkins, and we're off the rails.
Let's go. I like you did the. It's been a while since you've done an intro.
I think I do it every time.
Do you say this is Aisha and Eric? We're off the rails.
Yeah.
I guess I just block out the first 5 seconds of every
You're just like
episode.
wondering what you're going to start talking about.
I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's rare we haven't talked for 7 days instead of 6 days. So
I
I
was
feel
gonna
like I
say I
haven't
feel like
seen
we
you in
almost
a long
missed an
time.
episode.
Yeah. What are you up to on this Labor Day weekend?
Oh my! I completely forgot it was Labor Day. Oh my goodness. I've had a chill weekend. Just been hanging out. Saw some friends this weekend. Um, but yeah, nothing too special. What about you?
My mom is visiting. So we're
Very
hanging out.
fun.
Last night we went to Rockies Cubs. The Cubs won. Um, great, great ballpark experience. I typically am just like so in the athlete brain, so I often miss the end of events because I want to like get in the car and go home so I can go to bed. And it's really hard to break that habit, but the game was so good, so we waited through the end of the game and then had to exit with the other however many tens of thousands of people. And we had the most insane parking garage situation. And I'm surprised Will is still not in Denver. So we were sitting in the parking garage, not moving for at least 30 minutes. And Will had had a couple of Coors Lights, my husband, and he decides, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And
Oh wow.
sometimes he turns into like his alter ego's vigilante justice and he like decides to take things upon himself. And normally I'm like so embarrassed. Like this is like please leave it to the professionals. But on on this case, he actually saved the day. So Will then starts working as a parking attendant. He goes down, walks flights of stairs down to the parking garage exit and starts directing traffic in the
Really?
middle of downtown Denver at like 10 p.m. where everybody's going to the clubs, people are getting out of the Cubs game, and he starts standing at the meter and is like instructing what's going on. And in this, like before the car started moving, I was like, what is happening? Like he's probably gonna get in a fight with somebody. Like this is not gonna be good. But all of a sudden, all the cars start going. So he solved the problem and completely just directed traffic for the next 30 minutes of all the cars exiting the parking garage. The parking attendant who is supposed to be doing this comes up and is like, "Ah, what are you doing, man? You can't take my job." And so he gets in an altercation with the parking garage guy whose job it's supposed to be, and Will stands his ground and is like, "Look, man, I'm doing a better job than you." And he empties the parking garage and until we get down, and then he gets in the car and we drive home. And honestly, it was pretty hot. I was
I was gonna
like,
say you must
"Wow."
have thought he was so hot when you got back in the car.
I was like, I
You're like, I'm
I'm
in
not gonna
heat.
lie. Mom, I think you're gonna have to get out of the car.
Woo!
It's
You're
like,
like, I wish we were still in traffic so you could go to the back seat.
I know. I was like, whoa, like yeah, the give this
So it really
man
was just
like
it was a big traffic. It was just a
it
traffic
was a
issue.
it was a traffic issue. It was people not knowing how to exit the parking garage without the arm coming down to stop them, and then they'd have to call the parking attendant, get let back out. But he directed the flow of traffic to say, like, as soon as you scan your ticket, get your nose out so that the garage doesn't close. And he solved the problem for hundreds of cars.
So people
Pretty
were putting their ticket in, they're paying, and then they weren't getting out fast enough?
right. And then the arm
Oh
would
my god.
close, and then they went to scan their ticket again, but because they'd already scanned their ticket to
Oh, they're
exit, it
good.
wouldn't open. Yeah. And then each time this parking attendant, who I think was high out of his mind, would have to come over and like try to solve the problem. So repeat this for every single car trying to exit, which is why we hadn't moved. Um, until, my slightly inebriated husband solves the problem. Um, we were all stuck in the parking garage. So I'm still like pretty hot and bothered about it. Like, wow, what a guy. He can do
Yeah, you're
everything.
pretty. I can tell when you first showed up on camera, I was like, she's glowing. She looks fantastic. I'm like, you're just in bliss over there over the parking situation.
Yeah. Yeah, this is marriage. Eric, you don't
Oh,
you
that's
don't get
good
a lot
stuff.
of times to be surprised and delighted, but last night it
But this
happened
is
for
one of
me.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of opportunities to really like show out for your spouse, and it's like back in the back in the good old days, you could just beat the shit out of a guy, but now it's like you've got to sort up a parking situation. That's really cute. I'm happy for you guys.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. So, big weekend. Labor Day is going really well.
You're like, I knew we should have left the game earlier. My God.
We should have, but instead he got to shine.
Yeah, instead it worked out for the best. So you're a baseball girl.
Um, I like going to the game. I have always been a Cubs fan. I like that they have their own song.
Oh, so
Um,
were you rooting for the Cubs at Rocky Stadium?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and so is my mom. Um, there were far more Cubs fans than there were Rockies fans.
That's
The
true.
Rockies are the worst
It's
team
a
in
brand.
baseball. Yeah, and the Rockies are terrible. Like the tickets were quote unquote expensive for Rockies tickets. Usually, like the Rockies are so bad. I think they're like one of the worst teams in baseball history. This team. And you can get tickets for $2 to go to the Rockies
Oh,
game.
that's so
And
fun.
so it's really fun. And the stadium is great because they have like a whole rooftop like deck situation with multiple bars, lounges, seating areas. Like you go to the Rockies game just for a social experience because it's really fun. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you can get in for $2, you can get in for $8, $3 beers before they start the game. It's like more of a social scene. But this was the first time I've gone to a Rockies game where there were actual fans watching the game. Like I went to a Rockies game last week and I didn't watch a single minute of the game because you can just like go and hang. But we
You're hanging
actually
out. Yeah.
did. Yeah, the tickets were expensive. They were $30 instead of 8.
Oh, so you got like
And
box seats.
yeah, yeah, we were living
Yeah.
the high life. Super fun. I will go to any sporting event. I don't care if I have interest in the sport or not, I'm gonna have a good time. I really lean into the entertainment aspect of it, especially if there are cheerleaders or dancers. Like I am there. I'm stoked on it. Yeah, like they're always playing good music. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, you're just going to hang out and watch the cheerleaders and
Yeah.
ogle. Yeah, it's fun.
It
D
is
d
fun. Well, they're
do the
athletes.
baseball they're athletes, we're athletes. Did baseball have cheerleaders? No.
No.
You're like,
No.
"And no," and that's a problem, and that's a
That's a
problem for me.
problem. That's a
Yeah.
problem. I mean, there are people to oogle, like when you're um in the outfield, like the outfielders are there, like you can check them out. That's fun.
Yeah,
Base
that's what they're there for.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say that these are necessarily my type. Like the baseball guys aren't really my type, but I'll look.
Interesting. What is wrong with them in your opinion?
Mm,
Mm,
well, I consider
mm.
anything where you're wearing pants with a belt to be a skill, not a sport.
Okay. So it's just an outfit issue. There's so much belts.
I don't know, like golf, cricket, baseball, like
S
eh, these are,
Oh, controversial. You think it's their
yeah,
skills, not
controversial.
sports.
I think they're skills, not sport. I mean, of course they're a
Mm.
sport, but it's not like any time that you're not maximally exerting yourself, I consider to lean more toward skill.
Very interesting. Um,
Thoughts?
I don't necessarily think I agree. Um, but I like I do think because also you could say it's like, okay, maybe it's not as you're not exerting yourself maximally like you would in, say, track or another sport, but you are in instances exerting yourself to your fullest ability, right? Like it's like you get to get up to bat, you crack a home run, like in that second that you're swinging the bat, you're giving it 100. You're giving it maximal effort.
True.
Now, a lot of times, yeah, you see these guys out there and, they're just hanging out in the dugout. They play a lot of games. They play like 180 games a year. That's absolutely insane. Plus spring training, all the travel. It's got to be probably the worst schedule in sports, in my opinion,
Oh
baseball.
yeah.
Um, but I do, and like golf. I think you would. I would call it a sport. But I like your take, and it's fun to disagree.
It is fun to disagree. I do you are right. There are times where you are exerting yourself maximally, or like if you're trying to beat someone to first, like I understand that. Um and there's no way in hell I could take a pitch or do any sort of
Well,
baseball,
yeah, obvious,
softball
yeah.
type situation. Like if I had to try to play any other professional sport like that, I think that would be the one I would suck the most at. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of fellas out there that aren't to me looking
Do you think
particularly
the big
athletic.
fat people, like that's like you see a baseball player, they're kind of fat and like they look kind of sloppy to you. They got a belt on. They look like shit, and you're like, this isn't a sport.
No, it's not a size thing. It's
Oh, okay,
yeah,
it's
because if
belts and
you're it's the belts. It's the belts. Like if you don't have to wear like performance apparel, I just I'm not sure we can classify it as a sport. Because there's a lot of big boys out there, playing football, being
yes,
on
man, there are, yeah.
the O line or the D line. They're just like those are some big fellas, but they're not out there wearing belts. They're in
For
lycra.
sure. But you could also say like those guys, like those big boys are moving faster than you would imagine, stronger than it's like
Yeah. Oh, Ryan
uh
Krauser, Joe Kovacs, like those are athletes. Like
100%. Oh, obviously, yeah.
speed, power, agility. Like
Yeah.
I think they'd
Now
run circles around the
yeah,
around
but
the whatever big slugger.
let's say Kovacs tosses on a belt, and now all of a sudden, in your opinion, he's completely
Well, he couldn't wear a belt
now
and
we're
do his sport. He couldn't. He needs the movement. He needs to be able to get around the ring and take different positions that the belt would be restrictive. He needs full range of motion. Can't wear the belt.
belts off.
Belt's off. I
You
said
don't
what I
think he
said.
could go he could go last rung on a belt, but
Yeah, but then it's
and
just
get
flopping there. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
you don't want it. You don't want it. Don't need
yeah,
it.
I like it. I didn't so they wear belts. Is cricket in this cricket, they don't wear the same outfits as exact same as baseball, do they? Okay, now what about polo? Now I bet the polo players are wearing belts and they got, nice collared shirt on, preppy.
Yeah, I
What do you
mean,
think
like
about
a
that?
cricket outfit is like you're wearing white, you've got a collar, your shirt's tucked in, you're wearing a trouser type situation. Now I'm looking up a polo outfit.
They look good, but I don't know if maybe I'm thinking about like polo Ralph Lauren
Yeah,
advertisements.
that is
Yeah.
what came to me when I tried to Google it really quickly. But
Yeah, like
um
I'll give those guys a pass.
I mean,
What
again,
about race car driving?
they're not wearing a belt, they're wearing like a whole suit.
And so do you think so that's not a sport, it's a skill.
This is a hard one. Um, hmm. I would say that would be the perfect
In between.
confluence of sport and skill
Okay.
because you are like your skeleton is fighting all sorts of forces and you have to truly train your physical state and your mental sharpness state.
Okay, so that's the in between.
Mhm.
That's the
Like
cutoff.
that's the cutoff. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I like that we're getting to what's your opinions on what's sport, what's not. Some hot takes. Baseball players,
Hot
not a
takes.
sport. Cricket,
Sorry.
not a
Sorry,
sport.
bros.
Even golf, not a sport. Rory McIlroy is listening to this. He's like, God damn it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. What you do is really impressive. I'm not knocking that. It's a different thing.
This is, I mean, and on a hard pivot, this is your second day, speaking of outfits and things, second week in a row going with the CITIUS branded shirt.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I love in a t-shirt, which that has, is a really tight collar. I'm not
yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
love that.
I like that it has tight sleeves so I feel really buff.
Yeah, like
Like the
like it hugs
it hugs.
right.
It hugs. Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more in a t-shirt than when like a collar that's not hugging my neck, like a loose collar that's not a V-neck, right? Like it's just like you think
Mhm.
about like a worn out collar, looks like shit, kind of sloppy, frayed a
Right.
bit.
Right. Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a
It's a
problem.
problem.
And this
Yeah.
even, and I like with this, it's almost like a heavier collar. Like it's a different fabric than even the rest of the
Mhm.
shirt.
Yeah, there's some thickness to it. There's some weight.
Exactly. A little bit
I
of weight. I
agree.
like that.
Mhm. I am often in search of my favorite t-shirts. I like a nice classic
Yep.
well cut t-shirt to wear on the weekends. My favorite right now is from Uniqlo. They have the great nice like thick neck color.
That sounds so
Um
sick.
yeah, yeah, I think you'd like their shirts.
I think I
Not
would too. It's called
not a sponsor,
Uniqlo.
but yeah. Uh but I think next time we're shopping,
Yeah, I'll give
next
it a
time we're in a
shot.
city, give
We'll
it a
give it
shot.
we'll check it out.
Yeah, because yeah, shirts are a very personal choice. You got to feel good.
Yeah, like I like a nice like heavy tee,
Heavy tee, thick, like double lined almost.
really like thick t-shirt. Like
Mhm.
you wouldn't want to wear it in the summer, right? Like it's like a nice fall,
Mhm.
um, maybe a spring t-shirt. To be like one that's like really heavy. I got my almost my shoulder, like my traps are working just from wearing this bad boy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, me too, totally. I want my traps to be working at all
It's
times.
almost like a weighted vest. That's how heavy I want a t-shirt.
Have you gotten into the whole rucking situation?
I have gotten a bit into it, yeah.
You have. Tell
I
me about
have.
it.
I'm a big fan of it. Well, let's say because for a while after I stopped running, trying to start running again, my it was just my body would be like so banged up from all the years of training that I was like trying to run again. You know, my Achilles would be like hurting, calves kind of hurting, and so I was like, okay, I need to get my cardio in. Still, I still want to be training in some way besides weightlifting. So I just start rucking and getting in my steps and toss some weight into a backpack and go for a walk. And I'm a big fan of it. It
Do you
does take
still
a
do
lot of
it now?
time. Well, doing more running now.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And so I'm not rucking as much, but I'll still get out there probably like a couple times a month and go for, like an hour or so. It's fun.
Lovely.
Do you ever do it?
I'm considering because I'm in that part now too of I'm trying to run more, which is great. I'm running a few times a week. I just don't have a lot of time
Yeah.
during the week. Um, I'm trying to get back into a more respectable shape. I got just woefully out of shape. I'm talking fitness wise, not I mean, I was looking real cute,
Yeah, you were
but
snatched.
I was snatched, but I wasn't functional, and I'm trying to get functional. I wanted to be able to do more fun stuff. Um, so I'm
What was
trying
not functional about you?
I'm just slow. Like my
Okay.
cardio, yeah, like my aerobic system has just gone to shit because I just was doing a lot of Pilates, weight training, whatever. And then maybe I would run once a week, once every 10 days. It just like wasn't my priority. Now, I've got this knee that is a problem. And when I was training, I was really focused on it and every single day did some sort of work to help the knee. Now I don't do that. So now I get up and in the morning, the first time I sit down, I just hear like like some sort of like terrible crunching noise.
Mhm.
So I'm having to really focus back on my joints. So I'm trying to get up to like running 3 times a week. I'm hitting like 10 to 15 miles a week now,
There you go.
which before I was about 3. Um, but I do need that in between because walking alone, I'm in a tough place because walking alone isn't enough exercise for me.
Yeah.
I can't run every day. What do I do? So how long is an appropriate ruck length? Like how short can I ruck and it be effective?
Great question. I don't know if I can necessarily give you a hard time frame on what is the appropriate amount to ruck, but you'd probably want to go for like at least, a half an hour, I would imagine.
Okay.
Um, but the thing about like what I like about running is, like getting the heart rate up. It's like you can obviously get your heart rate up on a ruck, but you're not going to get it usually as high as you would on even like an easy run. Um, at least not for me. But yeah, like I mean, you're in the mountains. You can
Yeah.
easily toss a little weight vest on, get that booty popping on in the mountain.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, sounds like a blast. You're in the high elevation.
Sounds great. I think I
You,
even have a little weight vest around here from an old
I,
Achilles injury.
yeah, I'm sure you do. Um, let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, what did you just get that warning?
Oh, I got it. So for those listening, we are having. It's sure enough. Sure enough, we're here. Technical issue now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can see what I believe is to be some of your browsers.
Real, I don't think so.
I don't remember going to
If it's bad, if it's bad, don't
goducks.com.
say
Oh
it.
no, I did go to goducks.com. I did go to goducks.com and DraftKings. I thought this was yours, but it's mine.
When I say the fear that just came into the pit of my stomach, I'm not like when I tell you the adrenaline coursing through my body right now, I am fired. Oh wow. Wait, so are you recording right now? Because
Mine is recording.
okay, good. So we're back on.
We're back. We're back.
Woo! Aisha, don't ever say that to me again. Well, because you also gave me a look too that was like, whoa. You were like, bro, are you joking me with this browser history?
That is funny stuff. So we get this warning that says you need to free up
Yeah,
browser
Aisha's not recording because low browser storage.
because of all my tabs that I have open, and I mistakenly thought they were Eric's tabs, which struck deep fear into his being. But in fact, I was on DraftKings and I was on goducks.com.
Speaking of like, I was like, oh, I can't really get my heart rate up. I'm like, my heart rate right now through the roof.
Well, yeah, which I'm really curious about the browser history.
Drop it, Aisha.
It's just OnlyFans. Like you've been talking so much shit about people paying for OnlyFans, and it's like you
guys
have
are so
15.
dumb for OnlyFans. You were like, how's your weekend? I'm like, got into a new thing.
I thought I'd explored it all, but it's actually just guys running parking attendants. So
I'm literally
it's
just
pretty big.
started. Did your parlay hit on DraftKings?
No, I lost it all on Scotty Scheffler.
You were betting golf.
Mm-hmm.
Skill stuff.
Skill stuff. Yeah.
I didn't even know you could bet on skills.
Someone's gonna just
Skill
come to my
betting.
house and just beat me up for that. But yeah, I did bet on Scotty to win it all last weekend, and he did not.
Shoot. Well, oh, that sucks. Anyway, let's see what happened. So we got
Yeah, we had a lot. We had a great.
we got the Zurich. We got some talk. Some Zurich Diamond League finals happened.
Yeah, Diamond League final was great. Um, Gotta say, best work day of the quarter, having a 4-hour long track meet to watch on one of my monitors. It was amazing. Um, I hope that all track fans in the world were just having the best days ever, being able to stream this during the day. Really sort of dramatic meet, I thought. Um, Couple different races stood out. One of them was the return of Julian Alfred to the 100, which
Yeah, look great.
looked great. I mean, it's not everyone was in the race, but running 10:7 a couple of weeks ahead of Worlds has to feel really good. She
Yeah,
looked incredible
she looked
and
really, really good.
really, really good. And Brittany Brown looked incredible in the 200 to get to go to Tokyo,
Yeah.
which was incredible. I mean, so many great races, but as we talked about last week, it's just so exciting because it offers another chance for athletes to make their way to worlds, either by winning the race and getting a bye, or a wild card into world championships coming up in 2 weeks, or in cases like Vernon Norwood, basically running himself onto the relay was huge in the 400. Um, Awesome meet, just like so great. Another thing that was really cool, and I don't know if people caught this, was the day before they hosted all of the field events in the city center. They
I
like
did see
built
that. It
out
looked really
this
sweet.
whole situation where pole vault, um, what were the it was pole vault, long jump, a
High
few
jump?
events, high jump were maybe women's high jump was in like the city center of Zurich, which looked awesome. There were so many people there. It was really cool. And then the next day was just track action all day, which makes me think like how cool it will be. I was thinking, how great is it that we just have like all of the best races in one day? Like a shortened program sounds awesome. We've gotten through the bummer news that I'm not going to be able to make it to Tokyo, but if it were shorter, maybe I could make it. But a 2-week long endeavor is too long, which makes me think that World Ultimate Championships next year is going to be so sweet. Of like
How what's the schedule? How long is World
I think
Ultimate
it's two
Championships gonna be?
days.
Oh, wow. So I'm not even honestly too well versed in the World Ultimate Championships. Is it just gonna be on the off years?
Yes. So the idea being there should be some sort of culminating championship every
Yeah.
year. And now in track and field there really is not. Like there's one year that they host the Commonwealth Games, but that doesn't include everyone. Um and we have world championships, we have Olympic games, but then there's this, quote unquote off year for folks where it's only com games or um, regional continental championships. So they established world ultimate championships, and it really didn't get a lot of shine in press because it was sort of knocked down a few pegs and was the last sort of mega championship to be announced after Grand Slam and Athlos. Then they sort of announced World Ultimate Championships, and it was kind of like, oh, well, like we don't really need this. We have Grand Slam, which turns out that we do need World Ultimate
We need it
because
bad, yeah.
we need a
Um,
bad.
who's
So
World
it's
Ultimate
happening.
being hosted by? Like, who's
It's
putting
hosted
on World
by
Ult
World Athletics.
Oh, great.
So they're hosting it in Budapest for the first time next year, and it's 28 events over 3 days.
3 days, okay.
Yeah, and it's World Ultimate, meaning the best in the world. There's not a cap on how many people per country can race in the event. There's some wild
Oh,
card
wow.
bids of uh if you win world championships in Tokyo, you get to go. The Diamond League winners from 2026, and then best performers of 2026. So either like the fastest in the world or the highest ranked in the world or whatever. So it's going to be like a super mega Diamond League final. They have $10 million in prize money, 150K for first, 75K for second, then down to 40, blah, 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 but you get paid all the way out. Like everybody that's competing gets paid. And then they're doing like a lot of different things. So it's not a world championship. So they have more media access. The athletes will wear their country kit, but there's a lot less regulation because it's not put on by a footwear sponsor. So normally World Championships is run by ASICS is World Athletics sponsor. So World Championships is presented by ASICS. But since these aren't going to be, it's sort of kind of what Grand Slam was trying to do in a way of like this isn't bound by one footwear company, so that opens the door to more people being able to do more cool media at these events. So that's happening next year is the inaugural year. It's not the downfall is it's not every single event, but it is track and field. I think most notably for our listeners, there's no steeplechase next year, but it will be moving to different countries. So Budapest starts it, and whatever country is the host gets to showcase like their best athletes. So in Hungary, their hammer throwers are so celebrated. I think we noticed that in World Championships, like their field event people are like the heroes, and people were popping off for the hammer throw. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So hammer throw was like the center of World Ultimate Championships in Budapest because that's where their stars are. So for instance, if World Ultimate was held in the US or whatever, like they'd put the steeple in there because they've got great steeplers, but it's all based on like that the local organizing committees like showcasing their best athletes.
Oh, that's really interesting. So it's kind of like a fluid list of events?
Yes.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah.
So how many athletes are allowed? So it's more than 3 athletes per country. How many total athletes are gonna be in each event?
16.
Oh, so it's not meant it's small.
Mhm.
So it'll be like 1 prelim for like like 1,500 will be like 1
Mhm.
prelim, final, that type of thing?
Mhm.
Very cool. That's gonna be, very and it's just gonna be off descending order for times, I guess?
Yes, and they also invited the Olympic champions from Paris. So um they've listed the Olympic champions that have already qualified for the event. So Olympic champions, world champions, and then Diamond League champions from 2026, and then they fill in the rest with the rest of
Okay.
the best of the sport.
Yeah, oh, that's really interesting. I'm excited to see that. Um, 16, that's a small amount. Um, but yeah, it'll be cool to see the final product.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to see it. With as exciting as the Diamond League final was, it just tees up for
Yeah.
even more excitement. So let's get into that. What stood out to you?
I wish like seeing Christian Coleman win the 100 and make his way to Tokyo through like in this way. It's so because I mean Christian Coleman isn't and I think he won worlds in 2019, right? And it's like this year he's having nothing nothing crazy as far as on the track goes. He's had a bit he's had drama off the track, but like hasn't looked great in the races and comes out, wins the 100 and is now going to Tokyo. It's just really cool that this Diamond League format being before Worlds allows for that. Um, all eyes were on Yared in the 15 and Josh Hoey in the 800 for at least for me. And you know, pretty, I wouldn't say like heartbreak for those guys. Obviously, like they want to do better, but it's such a tall order. It's so hard to think about winning the Diamond League, like winning the Diamond League, and that's their only way to get into Worlds. It's just a lot to ask. Yard definitely looked like a bit, I think, tired. I think he looked a bit
Tired.
tired. He just looked a bit tired, looked a bit flat, didn't have the legs when he needed it. Because he's been running hard for a decent amount of time, and I wonder if Worlds is so late this year. USA's was pushed back, and he's done a lot of racing so far. I mean, it's basically September. Worlds usually is right. I mean, it's usually already happened, right? Or it's like right around now. And so it's everything's just a bit pushed back as far as schedule wise goes. He didn't have the legs. Laros is just now, I mean, one of the guys who is going to be a favorite going into this 1500. He's looked fantastic. He's able to close really fast off hot paces. I mean, so
Do you think he's the favorite?
I wouldn't say he's the favorite because he just hasn't done it on, a championship level stage yet. So I wouldn't say he's the favorite going in, but um, certainly a dark horse to do very, very well. I mean, he beat Koech from Kenya, who's been having a hell of a year. Took on a huge field, right? Who's the Frenchman? Azadine Habs, who's got the fastest time in the world this year. He went for it and just kind of faded. But man, Laros just looked great and super savvy running, made all the right moves at the right time, and he's got a head full of steam going into Tokyo. So I'm sure that that's like perfect for him. Exactly what he was looking for. And yeah, it's just Yard definitely he did what he could do. Honestly, I thought he ran he was I thought he was where he should have been, right? Like he was just off the pace, like 2 or 3 spots. It went like Habs and then, Koech and then Yards like 1 spot behind them, right? So I thought he was in the right spot. He just didn't quite have the legs the last 300 meters. But that's how it goes. It's such a you don't have with these type of races, like you can't afford to have an off day.
Right.
Can't afford to have an off like minute, right? Like you take your eye off the ball for a second, whether it's like a lapse in judgment or like just a wrong tactical move. In this case, it didn't look like that. It just looked like
A
a
little tired.
little tired. He's had a big couple weeks even after USA's, but yeah, no. What do you think?
I agree, and I think with this race in particular, with the 1500, the margins are so slim, and we're at a historic inflection point in on both the men's and the women's side in the 1500 where the level is so high. And I don't think we should forget that this is Yard's plan B. And if this was your
Yeah.
plan A and you were going to go qualify for Worlds at the Diamond League final, you would be more ready. You would be less tired. Like it is a big ask even in perfect conditions to go and win a Diamond League final. But this isn't really the spot he had imagined himself to be in. So it makes it even more difficult when you have come off of racing early in the Grand Slam season, taking a minute to re, you know, to train, collect yourself, get ready for USA's. You race or you race 2 rounds of USA's. You're a little tired. You're coming off of that, but you're trying to keep the momentum going. So you run, 2 more Diamond Leagues to make sure you get into the Diamond League final, and then you have the Diamond League final. So I think yeah, if it's a hard thing to do. It's even harder when it's not the perfect scenario and it wasn't what you've been training for all along and it's not what you've been peaking for all along. I think it just goes to show how strong this event is right now that you can't just, oh, actually, the plan changed. Now I'm going to dominate this field. Like we're in a different place in the world in this event group that you can't just do a 180 and expect that things are going to fall into the perfect place for you. I think he ran great. I agree with you. The way he positioned himself and his tactics were spot on, but it is just that the margins are so slim. And unfortunately, it's, it's a second and a half, the difference between winning and coming 7th. But that's too big of a difference. So, I mean, hats off, incredible fight back. I'm sure he's learned a lot, and I hope he feels proud of himself for trying and jumping in head first to a plan B, but it just didn't quite happen for him. But tall order, especially, I mean, gosh, this field is crazy. And I a lot of people are saying, um, oh yeah, Laros has to be the favorite. And I sort of agree with you. He does look like the favorite in one race, but we're not sure how everyone else is looking. We're not sure how the 30 rounds will feel. I think earlier in the year people were saying, "Oh, Faneuil Coach, he has to be the favorite. He takes down Josh Kerr on home turf at the Diamond League final in London, or sorry, the Diamond League in London." But now he looks a little tired. Did he come on too strong? We also haven't seen 3 excellent Kenyan 1,500-meter runners at the right time in a while. So that is interesting to see when you have Ronald Chariot, Faneuil Coach, Timmy Chariot, all firing on all cylinders, going 2, 3, 4 in the Diamond League final. I'm sure that will be something to reckon with in world championships when you've got 3 guys from the same country that occasionally some East African countries will employ some sort of team tactics. And if you've got 3 guys in the Diamond League final, they're going to be watching and checking each other better than, folks who don't know each other. So that's an interesting battle to fight. And then you've got Josh Kerr. What's Josh Kerr up to? He's probably just been hammering away in Albuquerque, getting ready in the mountains. What's Cole Hawker up to? He's obviously clearly very strong if he can win the 5K at USA's. So, couple rounds. I don't want to race Cole Hawker after 3 rounds. Who's to say? But I do think it's going to be incredibly compelling. We don't know what Jakob Ingebrigtsen's up to. It seemed from what I was reading that he wanted to race the Diamond League final, but and Zurich wanted him to race the Diamond League final, but because of the rule where they have wild cards where they can invite people to, like, as they invited Noah to compete in the Diamond League final even though he hadn't qualified, but you had to have raced 1 Diamond League race in the regular season, and Jakob has been hurt all year, so hasn't. So that's why he wasn't here. Um, it will be interesting to see what he's got. So I think this is one of the races I'm really excited for at World Championships.
Yeah, I wonder when like Jakob will announce what he's going to do. Because I think in the schedule, the 15's first, right?
Yes.
Just like how it was at you. So it's like the 15's first. I don't know. I mean, he's just so much better in the 5. You would almost think like maybe you should just skip the 15 and focus on the 5 if it's your better event, you've got a better shot at getting that gold. But kind of the cool thing about Jakob is he doesn't really give a shit about that, and he's goddamn, this guy wants to win a 15 so bad. Laros will definitely, like, he's good in that kick that, like, maybe I don't think he's a favorite. He certainly could win. I don't think I wouldn't say he's the favorite to win, but he's absolutely going to be in that home stretch fighting for medals where, just depending on what color that medal is. But, guys like Josh Kerr are going to be absolutely ready to when it counts in that final. But yeah, it's one of the favorite events for a reason. It's always so exciting, and it's fun to see these new guys. Everybody steps up, and everyone's running so fast. I mean, Azzedine Hobbs has the fastest time in the world this year, and I mean, he wasn't even really a factor in this past race. Right? It's just like so many guys are breaking 3:30, running unbelievably fast, and which just shows you that you're going to keep having new guys in the works, in the trenches waiting to come up and get their shot at it. And so yeah, we'll see what it looks like. The 1,500 women, That was
This is
a
crazy.
brutal.
Holy smokes. This was a crazy race.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cliff's Notes version is Jess Hull hits the bell, looks incredible, is, builds up this 10-meter gap on the rest of on Nelly Dipchirchir, and then the rest of the field, the chargers being Lyndon Hall and Sinclair Johnson charging. The four of those women had separated themselves from the pack, but there was a distinctive gap between Jess and the rest of the field. And you're watching this thinking like, holy smokes, like Jess is looking really good going into
Yeah.
Worlds. And then with, I don't know, 60 meters to go, Jess's lead starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then in the last 10 meters or so, it's like Jess's legs broke off of her body and she barely makes it to the finish line. I thought that she was just going to like collapse on the track. It was
I'm
like,
shocked she didn't collapse.
I'm shocked, like, how she stayed vertical was, like, kind of that sport right there. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
it is incredible. But so Nelly ends up catching her and winning the race, running 3:56.99. We never see Jess crack like that. I mean, she's such a good sport, and
Yeah.
I saw in an interview after that somebody asked her about it, and she's like, "Well, I guess it's probably time to taper now," which is such a funny and good response. Like Jess, is probably still under quite a bit of training load going into world championships, but my God, I could only imagine the amount of pain Jess was in the last few meters of that race.
It's Jess first like I love Jess has the best form to me. Like her stride is so like she always just runs really strong, great arm carriage. Her posture is fantastic. She's a great looking runner when she's really striding out. And she went for it. I mean, she really what was she at she was like was she like 250 at the bell? I mean, she was for a second I was like, is she
Yeah.
she's gonna run right around 350 if she can hold it. But man, you you know that because that's the hardest position to be in. It's probably the worst way to lose, especially a Diamond League final. It's just like with 100 meters to go, she's like, fuck. Oh, fuck. I am so dead. I'm dead. And she's just praying because she goes, okay, I am going backwards. And now I just have to try and not go very backwards. And then she barely lost it, right? Like Nelly
Yeah,
really just barely got her at the line.
at the line.
Such a brutal way to lose. But Jess is like great sport. Yeah, I'm like she's gonna be fine at Worlds. I'm assuming if it's heavy. Like if she said it's a heavy training block. I mean that's a great. It's a great sign to even look that not like look that good because she died in dramatic fashion, but she through
Yeah,
through
through
1100 like
through
1200 she really
1200
did look really good and she was running a lot like to be on almost world record pace out front
solo.
alone solo. It's really hard. Take a huge effort and some serious determination to because she would have run even better. You got someone to key off of, someone to pace to pull you along.
You have
She would
faith
have done even
there.
better. And yes, exactly. She like if she's got faith there, she probably hangs on a whole lot better through the finish line. But yeah, so I mean, really fun, right? Like those are the races when you're a fan, like you're watching it and you're like, here we go. Like that's fun. It's fun to see the super dramatic finishes. I
Like,
thought Sinclair ran really like a good bounce back for Sinclair after a pretty hard fall. And I think so what, yeah, she ran like 357, right?
yep.
Um, so good run for her and a good to see that she's healthy and um, bounce back after that rough fall going into that last race. So it's a good spot for her to be in for Worlds. But yeah, this is again another fan favorite of a race.
It started my train of thought down what's going to happen at Worlds. And this race is in some ways more predictable, but I've, in my mind, kind of broken it down into 2 groups. You have the absolute favorites of Jess, Jess Hull, Diribe Wilteji, and Faith Kipyegon having run faster than everyone else, with the omission of Georgia Hunter Bell, who's running only the 800, which we on this pod think is a great move. Very excited for her about that. Then and Georgia was sort of the gap bridger between the three that have separated themselves, and then the next chunk of athletes being Nikki, Sinclair, Lyndon Hall, and I'm gonna put Nelly in that boat, even though Nelly's won this race, won a few Diamond Leagues. If you watch the way the race unfolded, Nelly would not bridge to Jess. Nelly doesn't have the strength to run that 350, 352, 353 type of 1500. Nelly's not going with Jess, Faith, Diribe in the final. I don't see it happening. She's not willing to like throw herself into the hot coals. And that's kind of where Lyndon, Sinclair, and Nikki are living, which is like almost there. I do think that someone from that group could potentially medal if Faith drags Jess and Diribe out so hot. Diribe sometimes fades off of the fast pace. And if that happens, then someone from Lyndon Hall, Sinclair Johnson, Nikki Hiltz, or Nelly Chepchirchir is going to grab the bronze. That's my prediction as of Labor Day.
As of Labor, yeah, it is a good. It's. I like that. It really just depends on how hot of a pace Faith makes it. Is Faith going to double?
I believe
Is
so.
she? Yeah. So it's like, again, it's just like it is a big. It's just a gap, right? Like the top athlete, it's so tough to bridge that gap. I mean, Nikki is a 355 athlete, and it's just a big jump to get to that 353 mark, right? Where you're going to need to, it's around like the type of shape you need to be in usually to snatch up these medals. But I think Nikki can do it. Absolutely. Especially with Georgia now not in the event. It opens up a big gap. And again, these races never just play out like you think they're going to do. It's like, yeah, you can say, oh, these are the 3 strongest athletes on paper. And then sure enough, come the final, something absolutely insane happens. I mean, I'm thinking about like the men's 1500 at USA's, and it's just like completely, shocking, because I was sitting here a few weeks ago saying, oh, like there's a big 3 in the men's 1500, and these guys have a similar gap where it's tough to bridge. And then sure enough, 2 out of those 3 don't even make the team. The Olympic champion barely squeaks onto the team. Like it's just one of these events that there's always going to be some shocker, and you never really know what happens until race day. And honestly, it's like it's tough to even make it to these finals. Like it's these athletes, men's and women's side, have to, a lot of times you're gonna have to race these 1500s, the prelims with a kind of like a finals mindset if you want to make it in, because it's so fast. There's so many good athletes. You look down the lines of these star lists and you're like, everybody, use any name, all these names are people that you think should be in the final.
Right.
So it's like, man, that's just how cutthroat these prelims and semis are. So it's never just going to be how I think it is. But I mean, think it's like playing off of that, the women's 800. I'm like, I don't even know who, like, her name is Vero. Is it Vero, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Vero. On home soil, 155, Diamond League champ, beating out Georgia Hunter Bell, who looked great. Big kick to also be a 155 to, shiny new PB of 155. But holy shit, this is probably one of the better races of the meet.
Agree.
But
This might be
yeah,
for me, for my money, this might be the race of the meet. I mean, this is incredible. Also, watching the crowd go absolutely bonkers for their home girl. She's only 21. Audrey Vero is only 21. Um, she's been top 8 at a world indoor championship. She was a really good junior and more of a 400 800 athlete. She's run 51 flat for the 400, which is fast. Um,
yeah.
world under 20 silver medalist. She's a great athlete, and I was hearing them talk about it on the broadcast that it's been a strength thing for Audrey to get her to be now a world beater is gaining that strength after being so good at the 400 is getting that aerobic piece of the puzzle going and talking about like strength of running form and strength of body. She looks very good. She looks very strong.
Yep.
Her form is like very fluid. We saw her pop out at the Luzon Diamond League, and I remember talking about it last week thinking, "Huh, this is interesting. I don't know much about her, but she really cemented herself into, no, I'm the real deal." At the Zurich Diamond League just in time for a world championship. The it's always seen as a bit of a question mark if you're a 4-8 athlete. Going through 3 rounds is always a little bit more challenging if you're coming down from being an 800, 1500 runner, you see those athletes handle the rounds better, but overall in the world, the people that are the best at the 800 right now are those 4-8 women. Like Keely's not running the 1500. So, really interesting play to have Audrey Vero pop out in this huge fashion at the last 2 meets. Definitely throws a wrench into, I'm sure, Georgia Hunter Bell's thought process of, "Oh, wow, like I didn't see that coming." Um, I think Audrey Vera, Georgia Hunter Bell, Keely Hodgkinson have kind of again separated themselves from the speeds, the times that other people are running, but you never know. You never know how the races are gonna go, and we haven't really spoken about this much, but it is hot in Tokyo. It is
It's hot and humid,
hot
right?
and humid. So that will also be a factor in these races is who's gonna handle the rounds, who's gonna handle the conditions. Um,
Does the heat kind of bode well? Like, obviously, the sprinters love the heat. The higher you go up in distance, you don't want it to be like that. Is the 800, it's kind of like right in the middle, right? Like, the heat isn't gonna affect you in the 8 as much
as
as the
much.
distance, but it does, if it's a fast race and it's hot and you've got another one tomorrow and it's gonna be fast again, then I guess that's where the heat does really play in effect. The recovery is gonna be tougher. All of it just all like kind of compiles and it does make it hard.
And Audrey Vero has separated herself into mild climate, sort of inclement weather type of situations. Luzon was pouring rain and cool. And it was supposed to be also pouring rain in Zurich, but it was a little on the cooler side as well. So, interesting thing to note is I don't know, where's her prep camp going to be?
She
Is
likes it
that
mild.
something she likes it mild, Like what
I'm
will we
with
see?
her.
Yeah.
So is it but, the World Champions, it's like seems like it's all Paris wasn't too hot last year. Um, I
Some
mean,
some
no,
days were so hot.
I mean, it was hot, but it wasn't like
Not like soul melting. If you were racing, you were fine.
yeah.
I'm just thinking of us on the 4th floor, 5th floor of that apartment, at 2 o'clock in the morning recording podcasts, and I'm putting ice in my socks because 'cause I'm hot as shit.
Yes, no, our apartment was a bit stuffy, but I'm thinking about, like, the track athletes.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, no, we were battling hell of like some crazy conditions. For us, yeah, like I don't want to make this about I don't want to make the Paris Olympics about us, but like yeah, we did battle and we hung tough. You put ice in your socks. I just fucking dealt with it and crumbled. But I'm just kind of thinking about like past like races, you know, like Budapest. I remember them saying it was like unbelievably hot. Um, and now it's just like one of these things where the heat is something that you have to prepare for. It's going to be hot. Prep for it to be hot. Um, but yeah, if you're Georgia Hunter Bell, Keely Hoskinson, you gotta watch that race and think, all right, like how do we? I don't want her looking good in the final. I don't want her looking like that. How do we get hit? How do we make a final that's not like that? If you're Georgia, and especially if you're Georgia Hunter Bell, right? Because it's like, okay, because there is a bit of a gap with Keely. Keely's on a bit of a different level than the rest of the athletes right now. But Georgia Bell, so it goes in the descending order list. It must go Keely, Audrey, Georgia. And like you said, the Georgia being more of a 15 strength athlete, the rounds might bode well for it. And it's like, let's try and make Audrey as tired as possible going to this final. So I have to give myself the best possible chance to beat her. She closed really well. Like I was watching Georgia's last 100. She was really gaining ground on her that last 30, 40 meters, but just wasn't enough. Again, it makes the 8 a whole lot more fun for the next couple weeks.
Georgia is an incredible tactician in the sense that she knows her optimal strategy, sticks to it, doesn't get sucked into things that don't serve her, and has an incredible last 100, which in the 8 is huge because not everyone does. It's usually a game of who dies the least, and it seems like Georgia times it right more often than not. It's sort of how I would always feel watching Raven Rogers. Her brilliance in the last 50 would win medals and be exactly where she needed to be at the exact right time. And that's I think we're watching Georgia get better and better at this every meet. I mean, she was racing like not racing professionally, but last year she was unsponsored.
Wow.
She's really come back to this sport, you know, ran in college, stopped running, um, did what why am I blanking? It's called the duathlon. Is biking
Yeah, I
and running. Yeah. I was gonna call it the
believe so.
biathlon, but I think that involves guns.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh wow, she took a hard pivot.
Yeah. She's skiing with guns, and now
You're
she's
like,
winning
I was
medals.
gonna say, I was like, Aisha's like, that's not even a sport. She went
I
to
think that's a
skills.
sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
but I mean,
completely left sports.
completely left sports, went to skills, came back. No, but I think it is impressive to see someone functioning at this high of a level, honing her skills in real time to have this dynamic raceability and this tactical prowess that you usually see with seasoned vets. And I like watching her race a lot.
Yeah. No, it's and then but there's still so many athletes right around, 156, 157 that
I'm trying to pull up the descending
again,
order list.
yeah, there's just so many. There's um a couple Kenyans, right? Someone from France. It's like there's a lot of
Yeah,
good talented athletes in this 800 stuff. So you can't really afford to have off days in any of these events.
right. You've got it goes Keely, Audrey, Georgia, then Lillian Odira from Kenya, who ran 156.5 in
Yeah.
Poland, then Sige Daguma, who's always great for it at a world championship, 156.6. Orteli Noe from Botswana, 156.7. The French woman Bourgeon, 156.9. And then you get into the 157. So um, big year. We thought the 800 was going to be boring this year, but it's not.
No, it's It's certainly not the 800 men. Hoey, I mean, Hoey wasn't last, right? I think he's 8th in 144. Shows it's got to be probably like his slowest time of the entire year. The guy was fried.
Yeah. Fried, cooked.
Long year, absolutely long year. I think he was like he said he didn't take a lot of downtime. He raced the whole year. Every race he was like out in the front, hammering it as hard as he possibly could at record pace. Eventually that catches up to you, right? And it works until it really doesn't. And it's again, it's like I've been saying it all the time. It's a huge ask to go out there and win the Diamond League. Especially these are these situations where for Yared and Josh, it's you either win or you fail. It's either considered a win or it's just a fail. It's season's done. It's a lot of pressure and the stakes are so high. It can be tough to really handle that type of race. But Wanyoni again.
Wanyoni's back, baby.
Wanyoni is it's tough to see anybody beating him. Tough to see anybody,
It is.
getting in there and denying. I think he went through in 49 like low. I mean, they were flying through the 800.
Yeah,
He's
the
out in
pacer went
front.
through in 49 flat. That's
Yes.
so
It's
fast.
insane. So he's through in 49 and he's through that quick. And then he's kind of got like, he's just out there kind of doing like a solo record attempt almost. And I mean, I'm trying to remember the race if there was like a big gap or not. I don't think there was a huge
No,
gap, but he's
so
not really getting
no.
too much pressure.
Okay, tell me about Max Bergen. What do you know about this guy, the British guy who's second, not even a tenth off of Wanyoni. Wanyoni wins in 142.37. Max Bergen 142.42.
Well,
What's his deal?
I'm pretty sure Bergen has been around for I'm pretty sure Bergen came onto the scene and was like a absolute star as a teenager. I think he was like one of these 17, 18-year-olds who ran incredibly fast. And if I'm remembering this right, I could be
I'm
off on it,
Googling
but I'm
him.
pretty sure he came onto the scene as a teenager running really fast. And has just been a bit streaky. Could be hurt. Could be a list of things. I'm not entirely sure, but he's been around and he's been in these Diamond Leagues and consistently towards the top, right? But it's just you're not gonna. The top is so fast, and usually like Marco looked better.
Marco looks
Marco
better.
Aerope looked better than at Zurich than he has in a couple of the past races, right? Like I'm used to seeing him actually challenging Wanyoni. I think we all are, and when he's on, that is what he does. But this looked like a step closer to that than we've seen in the past races this season after Grand Slam. But
Interesting. I just got a little bit of Max Bergen's backstory. You know, I love a backstory. He's coached by his dad. His dad, Ian Bergen and Max Bergen, influenced by Peter and Seb Coe. Peter
I was
Coe.
right about to say there's something about Brits that the father-son relationship just works over there.
It just works.
You
It
got the
just works.
Whitemans, you got of
Yeah.
course Peter and Seb Coe, and now you got Max Bergen. I'm sure there's a bunch of others, but
I think he might be able to pick up a medal.
Yeah. You think so?
I do. I
mean,
do.
if he runs like that,
If
he
he runs
ran
like
really
that, yeah.
strong. He super compact form. It doesn't break down as much. Like there's not a whole lot of like you think about somebody at the end of a race, and I was guilty of this like crazy. Right, the last 100 meters, and if I'm absolutely dead, it's so tough to maintain that really great running composure. The form when the form's it's so tough, especially in 800 where it's just basically an event of attrition, right? Trying to die the least. But yeah, he's got a very strong stride, and you can't say if he brings the same level of racing to Tokyo that he did to this Diamond League final, absolutely, he could be in the hunt for a medal. I mean, especially because, Marco's a bit isn't we don't know if he's 100% yet. Maybe I don't know if he's banged up or if he's just a bit tired too, coming back from something, who knows? But
Maybe under some training load,
yeah, could be,
looking,
yeah, he could
looking
be
forward. Yeah.
looking to taper too, but he just isn't looking out, 100% right now. So yeah, absolutely, he could be in the hunt for it. So it's like whatever, like fucking Sajadi,
Fucking Sajadi.
fucking Sajadi.
This guy. The
This
Algerians, man. I don't know. I don't know about these guys. You just never know what you're gonna get. And sometimes you see some stuff where you wish you didn't.
yeah. Sajadi, baby. Yeah, no, he certainly doesn't look like he did last year.
No.
And there was a French guy last year. They were all running 141 last year.
Yeah, yeah, which is just
These guys are fucking
bananas.
washed now.
What's the French guy's name? I can't think about him right now.
He's gone.
Yeah, where is that
He's
guy?
gone with the wind, baby. Everybody last year was running 141, and now
Oh, two all.
to all, of course.
Yeah.
Well, of course, to all.
But of
yeah.
course.
But of course,
Yeah.
oh, to all, yes, of course. I think I was about to say that.
Gabrielle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, but now they suck this year. Whatever.
Whatever.
Maybe they'll bring
Washed.
it but they ran 141. They're absolutely washed. They ran 141 so
many times.
bunch
And
of times.
141 low.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0 ran 141.6 last year.
Sajadi ran 141, probably 141.4, and he ran it 38 times.
Yeah, he did run 141.4.
He did?
Jeez
Yeah.
Louise, yeah.
What a
yeah.
solid guess.
Yeah, so he's running a second slower this year.
And then Wignoni ran 141. So yeah, is Marco a 141 guy? Probably.
Let's look it up. The tabs are populating, baby.
Every single question I ask, I'm like, okay, don't ask a question for the next 7 seconds.
No, it's good. Yeah. Holy, he's run 141 too.
Jesus fuck.
That's so fast. That's fast.
That's crazy fast. But I mean, I watched that race and you gotta love how I'm like my boy Donnie Brazier would have done. Can't say it's like Wignoni's an absolute monster right now, but this would have been I bet a good race for him to be in. Excited to see how these Americans stack up. Come Tokyo. If
Cooper Lukenhouse went pro.
If Cooper Lukenhouse went pro, of course he did.
He's been listening to your advice.
Yeah,
so
the family's like, look, we don't want to move. We I don't. Is this the right time? Is this a seller's market? Do we really want to?
Our interest rate is way too low to sell.
We've got a good community here. We don't really want to move. And Cooper's like, well, I wouldn't mind going to college and doing that. They're like, just stop being a selfish bastard and just go pro, dude. Start chipping in with the bills around here if you don't mind. Think about the family. I want to retire early, I think. Go pro. So yeah, of course he went pro because your star is never going to be as hot again, like we talked about. And that's just how this sport goes.
I'm curious, and we would have no idea, but I mean, maybe you would have an idea. What does a high school phenom, I mean, he's stratospheric, so maybe this is a bad example, but what do you think a high school phenom coming out of going pro in high school makes? What do you think? How big do you think a contract is in that case?
I bet he's making a lot. He's making, I'm sure he's making over $500,000. I bet he's in between $500,000 and $1 million, right? I could see him being, and I certainly wouldn't want to be the guy who says who's signing these guys, right? Because he's so young And it's like, man,
It's a big bet.
it's just such a big bet. And when you're that young and you get, and who knows what the length of that contract is, right? If it's a 4 year, probably a 4 year, right? To the next Olympic cycle, 4 or 5 year. Because I'm sure shoe, actually, well, it's Nike. So yeah, it's going to be a 4 or 5 year through the next cycle. And this is me just guessing,
Oh,
but
yeah. I mean, well, like, here's for our listeners that haven't been in this situation before, all of the footwear contracts are under NDA. So it's not like NFL where you see, oh, this guy's making 118 mil over however many years.
why
Like
is that
those,
different? Why,
I
like,
don't
what?
know.
Because it's like, I'm trying to think if I don't know if I agree. Like, it probably should be public. Why is it? I wonder why it's not. And I mean, I now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, I wonder, it's the shoe companies holding all the cards to their chest and saying like, yeah, we don't, like, we're going to keep everybody in the dark. We can, so that we can tell athletes, so no athletes know what the other person's making, and that we can come in with that number. It's all for them, right? Obviously, it would benefit athletes if numbers are public.
Right.
So it's just the shoe
And
companies playing their cards close to their chest.
I think it's also slightly different in the way track and field is measured, right? Like if if you're a whatever, a point guard, like you have your stats and you have like the strength of your team and all these things considered, but we don't really know, and this is probably partly with the NDA situation, we don't really know where the value comes. Is it, and I remember this when I was renegotiating, when I was leaving Oregon and moving to Boulder, I went a few months without a contract. And I I remember the calculus of, at the time, so it's 2016, and I'd had Instagram for 4 years at this point, and I didn't really enjoy using social media. Like it wasn't like as huge in the zeitgeist as it is now. It was like sort of the old paradigm was your performance is what drives your value. But now in a lot of contracts are social media minimum posting requirements, and your marketability is more factored into your value because it is less of you played 118 games as a MLB pitcher and here's your stat line and whatever, and there is, a brand of your team that puts marketing dollars behind you, and your image is more professionally elevated, which provides value. But that's not the case in track and field. In a lot, and other than like the top 10 stars in the sport, it's very much a combination of factors of performance matters, obviously. You have to be a good enough athlete to be relevant. But then it's on the athletes in a lot of senses to sort of cultivate a personality behind themselves, which is very different from other pro sports. So I think that there is a sort of murky gray area. And I remember making the conscious choice to say, okay, well, I guess I will invest more time. I have the time as an athlete. Like, I guess it would be helpful for me to sort of share this journey and share about, a bit more about myself. And I found it to be very helpful when I was ultimately negotiating my next contracts and maintaining longevity in the sport, that like, hey, if you give a reason for people to care about you, like that's valuable to a brand too. So I do think it's both pieces. You got to be good enough to give someone a reason to care, and then you follow it up with a a bit more about like who you are as a human being, and then that just like builds on itself and builds on itself and builds on itself. So I think most athletes outside of like the top 10 biggest names are playing in that weird gray area where you don't really know what is going to resonate with the brand, and you just try to figure it out. Like even amongst in training groups, some of us knew what each other's contracts were because we would, ask for advice from each other of like, should I lean more toward less reductions, or should I lean more toward more bonuses? And in a very tight situation, you can ballpark, have shaded, cloaked conversations where you're not showing each other contracts and you're not like telling each other exact figures, but you can sort of tease out and try to help yourself and help, those closest to you. But it is a like a dark line of like, I've never, other than my husband's, I've never seen another athlete's contract. And that is so wild.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And also it's tough because the shoe companies all can have this, since they do have all the power, they can kind of dangle like the carrot in front of your face, and you can't really shop around a lot of times, right? Like let's say Nike goes to Cooper and they say, here's the number. It's gonna be on the table for X. If you want to go and try and take this number to Adidas, to anywhere else, to New Balance, to the other big companies, they can say, look, it might not be here when you get back.
You
Right?
have
Like,
36 hours to make
yeah,
this
it's like,
decision.
look, you can take this, and it's like a now or never type of thing. And then and the thing is, it's never the contract situation is never like a Cooper contract situation. Like, right, these are the rare exceptions to the rules. Usually, it's people that are just kind of fighting for the scraps of what you can take, what you can get. And so it's almost like, be grateful you're getting anything. Shut the fuck up. Take the contract. A lot now.
Yeah.
Often it's, and I don't know if it's still like that. Often it's really they, at least in America, right? They're compensating the NCAA stars that come out. They'll take care of them. And if you're not a household name in the NCAA, if you didn't win the NCAA championships, if you're not fighting for these spots in the teams, you can sign something, but there's going to be a huge cutoff from those top stars to, the guys who are barely getting into USA's type of thing, right? There's just that, there is a very big difference, very big gap. So it's Cooper is going to be doing just fine, but it's few and far between. And so and like you said, you've only seen, besides your husband's contract. It's just something that everybody's kept in the dark about. No one really talks about. And yeah, you almost do wonder what your value is. Like, if you're a Kipchoge, right? You sell a lot of shoes.
Yep.
You set like the road runners sell shoes. Is Ethan Strand selling spikes? Is he selling shoes? And you can say, well, he's not selling Kipchoge shoes, right? But there's still value. Of course, there's still market value to it. And then we're kind of getting into the point of social media, like influencers sign contracts,
Mhm.
and that's a new thing. But it's going to continue it's going to get even bigger, right? If you're going to have big running influencers, tons of followers, pushing products, you're going to end up selling contracts. And they're probably not like Cooper Lukenhaus contracts, but still getting contracts that other professional athletes probably
Wouldn't
aren't
be.
getting, wouldn't
No.
be getting. So it is an interesting time. And I'm thinking about when Galen Rupp was the star of the US distancing, he never even had any sort of social media presence. Those days are gone.
Those days are gone.
Those days are gone. Now, in my contracts, there wasn't like you need to post X amount of things on Instagram. They would send you to post, they'd send you an email, say, hey, send this out. And every single Nike athlete drops the exact same shit, same day, same caption. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, well, that's even less. I'm watching, if I'm like a consumer, I'm almost annoyed at this shit. I'm like, well, this
Yeah.
couldn't be any less authentic.
Right.
You should spice it up.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's what you have to, you just have to say this tagline, but put a spin on it. Give a little bit of personality. And this is what kind of comes back to, it's like other sports are branded differently because you just see so much more of them. Even the people with the bad personalities, you still get, not, I say bad personalities, I mean like more quiet, less like showy, less flashy. I'm like,
Turds.
I'm like, even the absolute losers and pieces of shit. No, But they just play so many more games. They have so many more interviews. They have so much more time in front of the camera. Their sports are more popular. They have more Instagram followers. They have more everything. So they have more, the public knows them so much better, as opposed to the runners who run a few times a year. They get this, if they do great, they get interviewed. If they do poorly, they don't get interviewed. The interviews are usually the same thing. They're usually about the race. They're usually about training. They're usually about the goals that you've got for the year, talking about your competition maybe, but you're not really showing a lot of personality in a few minute post-race thing
When
when
you're
you're absolutely
exhausted,
gassed, when you have you can't think at all.
there's
And
no blood in your brain left. You're just
now
dead.
I'm talking, and now it's like, okay, then, so that's what people kind of know you as. And so it is so different, and you get it's so much less opportunities to show yourself, show your personality. But it is, social media is changing that. But again, these athletes aren't really signing contracts and it's like, look, I don't want to do that. If you can say, look, I want to be the best athlete I can be, best runner I can be on the track. I don't want to be worried about like displaying my personality on social media. It's like, and if you're somebody, like, yeah, they shouldn't need to. They should worry about running fast. And now it's my job as with the shoe companies, with the
Brand.
brands, I figure out how to brand you. Cooper Lukenhouse, I'm like, he might not say a word on social media. I don't know him. I know his personality. And now it's
But I
my
know his
job.
name.
I know his name. Now everybody else knows his name. Now it's my job to like get him to in front of the public more, whatever it is, whatever they want to do. But yeah, it's the kind of the state of the sport in that sense has changed. It's just going to continue to get more, dramatically different with, whatever the next tech booms are and however it changes in the future.
And for the fledgling brands, this becomes difficult because you need to do two things. If you're an up and coming in the running space, like what On has done in the past few years, you need to do two things, and you need to do two things very well. One, you need to create credibility for your product, right? Like if you are trying to sell to runners, if you are trying to sell spikes, like not just, a casual jogging shoe, you have to validate performance. So you need people who can perform. So in some ways you care less about storytelling. And in the first place you need the product validation. So you have to have good enough stuff, because if it's just fluff with a ton of branding, people are going to see through that. Performances won't show through. So that is like the core and the pillar. It's like you actually have to have good enough product, and your product needs to be able to perform at the highest level. And then you need that storytelling piece or to envelop it. And some brands do this better than others, but it is a strange place now in the running space of seeing brands attack it from both sides. And I do think there's a place for both, right? Like not every influencer needs to go, or not every jogger who's just getting into the sport of running needs to go own a super critical track spike. Like that's not for all people.
Yeah, none of them
And
need it.
no, they don't. I mean, maybe they should go do some sprints. Like maybe that'll make you
Absolutely.
faster. Like you should, but not everybody needs that product. So that's when other voices coming into the space is so welcome to like get more people running, get more people involved. But it's like it's both, and it's not one or the other. And you see different brands kind of struggling to enter the biggest spaces in track and field because they're not necessarily doing both. And that's where it gets really interesting when it comes to athlete sponsorship, is what is the brand seeking at that moment, and that changes all the time. It's really interesting.
Like, I'm thinking about like what Bandit did, right? With they were sponsoring was it Bandit who was sponsoring athletes at USA's? That was really cool. That's a really, and it's one of these things, because if you're like Nike doesn't really give, like, they're the biggest name in shoes, right? They're like, we're selling enough shoes. We're not we can kind of slack in departments that other brands can't afford to slack in because our shoes sell themselves and we've got great products and our name is a household name and the sales will be fine regardless. But a lot of these other, especially like On has crushed it coming up. And it's, I mean, what an insanely hard industry to break in and start doing well in. But like you said, the first thing that matters is having a good product and then figuring out how to do well from there. You see, I'm like going back to Bandit, they seem to do a good job with like the grassroots community aspect of it, right? So it's like, okay, let's like do a good job marketing and be kind of like hip, right? We'll be like
Yeah,
cool
they're
and
cool.
we'll be like the new cool brand and we'll like kind of attack it from a more like localized perspective and then branch out from there. That's what from my end, that's what it looks like. Be cool to the the doesn't you don't need to be cool to like the professional track and field world right off the bat, but it's like the there's like it's you'd call it almost like a sub elite runner, right? It's like the people that are really involved in the sport, training hard, absolutely love it, running the marathons at your local track training, in the run clubs, in the groups. There, it's like get them.
Mhm.
You'll do great.
You'll do great. You'll do
You'll
great. And it's also people that like pro athletes don't buy stuff.
yes.
Like when is the last time I bought a piece of running apparel or a pair of shoes? That's not true. I did buy a pair of shorts recently from Heartbreak Run. Pretty exciting. But that's the first running purchase I've made in 12 years. Like it is not the right demographic if you actually want to sell something. Like going to dedicated dedicated hobbyist sounds reductive. Like that's not what I want to say, but it's like, yeah, the sub elite athlete that like takes this very seriously and wants to get faster and trains really dedicated, but it's not, their entire identity. They have disposable income because they've got a sweet job and they're like, spending their free time to do this.
Yeah, they love this
Um
shit.
they love this shit and I love that. It's like I look at the Bandit stuff, I'm like, "Yeah, I should probably buy some of that." Like, that's pretty cool. Like, it is they do such a good job. I mean, Tracksmith is similar. It's like these sort of like higher end, um, cool luxury running brands like are also thriving. And it is, yeah, they're just like coming at it from a totally different direction and then like almost capturing the old washed up people like me that like, hey, I want to be cool.
I wanna be cool. Yeah, you're like, "Look at me with my heartbreak shorts."
With my new booty.
Yeah. New butt alert. Well, look at these
Yeah.
shorts. Let's see, did we talk we gotta talk about I just wanna say I could to see first off, Grant Fisher cannot get a
Oh,
win.
sorry. Yeah, back to the Zurich Diamond League. How did
Back
we
to the
get
Zurich
where we
Diamond League,
are?
Grant Fisher
Yeah,
cannot get a win to save his life.
to save his life.
The
To save Cooper's
I
life.
mean, okay, so I honestly when I was watching the race, I didn't even like think about, oh, if Grant wins this, Cooper gets in. But I mean, goddamn, very Cooper's watching that like, dude, just win the race, bro. You're
Cooper's
so
like,
good, dude. He's like, Cooper's like, dude, just go to the front and hammer for a fucking K. I'm so sick of this shit, dude. Go hammer the race. You're stronger than them all. like Jimmy Gressier beat Grant Fisher, and he shouldn't be beating Grant Fisher. He's
no.
obviously incredibly good. He won the Diamond League. He's a 1255K guy. But you shouldn't. But Grant has got to stop losing these type of races. He did. It looked like get pushed with 100 meters to go. He got like looked like kind of shoved, thrown off his game, and he had to really work to battle back. But I mean, for as good as he is, and he's again still, I bet he gets a medal or two in Tokyo. Actually, he'll probably get 2 silvers.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I talking? I'm like, Eric, listen to yourself. We'll get 2 silvers, obviously. Um, oh, but yeah, man, he's just coming in second in a lot of sit and kick races.
Man, also, they had, Cooper on, like, live watching this race, and what a
Who did flow
cruel
track?
yeah, what a
Yeah,
cruel thing for Cooper, like, if it were me and I were watching this, obviously, like, as an athlete, like, look, I wasn't I didn't get the job done. Didn't, didn't get the job done in Eugene, whatever. But you're watching this and like Grant gets second, like in basically a lean. I would have been like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, fuck. Like, I would have been mad. Watching my like chance slip away. Like, again, there is onus on you, but you're watching some guy like maybe create fate for you, and you're on camera. So you
it
have to
almost to now. This is a good opportunity for of Cooper to have shown his personality. He should have he should have faked it and gone into like an actual ballistic, like gone completely ballistic, and like to the point where Trey Hardy and Centro are like, oh, like, let's do a wellness
cut the
check on this
mic.
guy. Let's get the police there for a wellness check. He is
Yeah.
absolutely losing it. Like, if he was just genuinely, like, he's like, okay, the plan is like, if Grant wins, I'll go crazy excited, and if Grant like comes in anywhere, thing, but first, I'm going to just start like punching holes in my wall.
Like you're gonna need a bleeper for the amount of F
Would have
bombs I'm
been, it
gonna
would have been so,
drop.
it would have been
Yeah.
so funny.
That would have been so funny. But no, he like does a really good
Is
job. He's like, oh man, but it couldn't be me. I would have lost it.
oh shucks. Oh rats, man. Oh well.
Better luck next time.
He should have brandished a handgun.
Oh my god, no, too soon, man.
No.
We can't say that. We can't say that.
Oh yeah. Oh, why? Because there was another school shooting in America.
Yeah. Can't solve it.
There's
Can't possibly
always
solve
gonna be
it.
one.
Yeah. Good lord. My god, these poor kids, man.
Not a good time to be a kid.
I'm tired of
Like,
this.
I was even thinking, like, yeah, no, it's insane. Like the amount of shootings, and it's in the news, just like everything. The cycle for a day, 2 days, onto the next. It's going to be the next one, 1 day, 2 days, thoughts and prayers onto the next, and it is wild. And I was thinking, it's like, I'm like, oh, hasn't been a school shooting in a while. I'm like, oh, because it's summer break. I'm like, man,
wow,
how
we're really
nice is
cleaning it
to-
up. We're really cleaning this
I'm like,
country up.
my God, I'm like, are kids not shooting everyone anymore? And then you're like, oh, we're on summer break. And then first day of school, and you're like, and we're back.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Horrible.
What a bad time to be. Like, it'd be so terrifying to be like a parent sending your kids to any level of school.
Yeah, nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe.
And I know this wasn't in a school. This was in a church.
Yeah,
right?
a church like with a Catholic school. Yeah.
But still, I mean, yeah, I mean, hard segue. I'm like, okay, so I guess Cooper doesn't need to brandish the gun. That would really be selling the joke. Look, Cooper would have a different approach to me. I would obviously get the gun, but and then this is when my agent would text me and go, "Did you pull out a gun on the Flow Track live stream?" And I'd be like, "Yes, but I was like really selling a bit. It was a funny bit, I thought, because Grant came in second and I was really trying to sell it. So I pulled out the gun. It wasn't loaded, but I can see looking back how it's not great, but."
And your agent's like, "You're fired. Never speak to me again. You're a horrible
My
person."
agent's like, "The shoes are flying off the shelves, dude." They're going to do a full ad campaign with you.
I mean, look, with what's going on right now, I wouldn't be surprised.
It would do so well. It'd be so hot.
Unfortunately. Yeah. God.
Uh, okay, yeah. Okay, so, like, back to fucking Zurich
Okay,
Diamond
back
League.
to Zurich Diamond League, I guess. Um, well, wanted to shout out the women's 3K. I know it's like really a hard pivot to go
Oh, yeah.
back. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh no, we're just talking about the
No,
most
let's get to the
horrendous.
let's get to the bottom of school shootings.
Yeah, let's solve it here and now. But we do have to bring it back to a few more of the Zurich Diamond League events. One being, did you know that they had these like super events where it was double prize money? And the
What?
3K was one of them. The women's
Why?
3K was one of them. I don't know. I don't know. It was just like
What?
like
It's like double
jackpot.
Jeopardy?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
random? What the f
And it was
that
the
makes
women's
I'm
3K.
so
So
confused.
Josette Andrews races great in a tactical 3K to come
She looked great.
second. She looked great. She looked great. Yeah.
Like, there's a point
Um,
she's leading, right, with 2:50 to go.
yeah, yeah, looked amazing.
Looked
Just
really good.
yeah, yeah, walks away with second in a bag of cash.
S Oh, wow, so she walked away with, like, more cash than she woulda got if she won these other
Yeah,
non-double Jeopardy, events?
yeah.
How the f I'd be so pissed that I would the gun would come back out if I was in one of these events and it's just randomly not double Jeopardy. I'm like, "What the" I'm like, "What" if I'm Jimmy Gressier, I'm like, "What the hell do you mean she gets double the prize money?" I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "It was just random." I'm like, "What? What the hell?" Well, that's fun for them. Was that the only event that was double Jeopardy?
Let's look.
I'm like, "Okay," and then that would be my last question for the next 7 seconds.
Just 7 seconds.
Yeah. Um, that is that can't be the only one. That's such a that's
There are 4 events were designated to offer to be the Diamond Plus disciplines and offer double
Diamond
prize
Plus.
money. Diamond
It's like
Plus.
Paramount Plus,
Yeah,
Disney
that'll
Plus,
be
Paramount
extra.
Plus. Yeah,
That'll be
oh, you didn't
extra.
subscribe to Diamond Plus? You get double the prize money if you hit. Oh, subscribe to Diamond Plus and you'll get double the prize money if your event is called. They're like, "Well, you gotta subscribe. You didn't pay."
Yeah, so the double the
What other
prize money,
events?
I don't know, I'm looking.
Yeah, yeah, okay, you don't need to answer that.
I didn't get yeah, I didn't get yeah, we're not it's not popping up on the AI summary. The Diamond disciplines, Diamond Plus disciplines. Here we go. It doesn't tell us what they were. I think it was
Of
just
course
based on
not.
vibes. It was just based on vibes, I guess.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, like, hey, that
I'm
seemed pretty cool. Diamond
that was
Plus.
real they should do race of the night like in UFC, they'll do like fight of the night, performance of the night bonuses. They
Yeah,
should
that'd be
do
cool.
they should do like race of the night they should do kind of like vibe checks.
Aura points.
Diamond Plus Aura Point, subscribe, hit the smash the like button and you can get double the prize money, like race of the night type shit.
Yeah.
Um, but they know before the race.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
But then there should be extra bonuses for after for vibes and shit.
For vibes. Yeah, like Audrey Barrow should have gotten the Vibe
Performance of the
Aura
night. Yeah.
7,000. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Let's see what else. Carson Warholm looking absolutely fantastic going into Tokyo. Him versus
So
Rye
good.
is going to be absolutely fantastic. Um,
Again, I mean, what a treat.
yeah, that's a such a good rivalry. And Carson's looking super good. Oh, a little update. Matt Wilkinson is out of the steeple, right? And Isaac's now in going to
Yep, that's
Tokyo.
big. That's
That's
big.
big. Isaac looks absolutely great. He ran 8:10. Was it
Yeah.
for second? Was he second
Um,
or third? He was right up
he
there.
was
He had an
right
absolutely
there.
huge race.
He
Um,
was oh,
oh well, he ran
he was
8:10,
6th.
but way
He was
before he
6th.
ran he
Yeah.
ran
Yeah.
8:10 a week before this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, he didn't run. Oh yeah, he shit the bed. Oh yeah, he got absolutely smashed. Okay. But that's awesome. I mean, Isaac's the guy who's been knocking on the door like always in these steeple finals at USA's almost making the team.
What's
Obviously not the
interesting
way
about
you want to make the team, but he's in.
Also interesting about Isaac was he was going to retire last year, after the Olympic, like after the Olympic trials, after whatever, but was like horribly sick at the Olympic trials and didn't make the team and decided like, oh yeah, I'll give it one more year just to, be able to retire
Yeah, he's like, "I don't
and
wanna
feel
go
good
out
about
like
it.
that."
Yeah, I don't want to go out like
Yeah.
that. I want it to be my terms. And then has had the year of his life at running a 10. Like that, it's cool to see someone bet on themselves and give themselves another shot and then now going to worlds. It's awesome.
No American Jaeger has the American record,
8
right, at
flat.
8 flat.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we need an American sub 8 bad.
Yeah, and remember when he was gonna smash it and fell over the
Yeah,
last
last
barrier in
barrier, Paris.
Paris. Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh my
That
god,
was when he
brutal.
ran 8 flat, right?
Yeah.
Like, he ran his PR 8 flat American record falling on the last steeple.
Mhm.
Um, absolutely brutal.
Yeah, but
Minus
what a
1,000
le
oral points on that
yeah.
fall.
But we're still talking about it, so
I know,
there's staying
because he's
power.
on there's absolutely staying power, and no one's really come that close.
No.
Like, no, but
I'm
like,
thinking of, like,
8 Isaac
Hillary
running
Bohr.
8:10. Like, I'm sure Hillary Bohr was good for, like, an 8:08, 8:05 maybe,
Let's see.
and I'd be kind of surprised at that. I
Oh.
don't know. I just remember, like, Isaac running 8:10, you're like, "Damn, that's really, really fast." And guys aren't, at least American guys, don't
808. You're
seem to
right.
be
Wow. Eric,
running
you're
that
just
fast.
steel
I'm
trap.
just kind of
My
guessing
Google
on vibes and,
fingers.
like, kind of right there.
Yeah, my Google
Yeah,
fingers
your
couldn't
Google
even keep
fingers, I'm
up.
like, I just gotta trust my gut.
Yeah.
Uh, just gotta trust my gut, trust my gun.
Oh my god.
So let's see, I think that kinda does it with the Zurich Diamond League, or
I
what other
do.
do you
Oh,
yeah.
only other like running news was the Sydney Marathon happened this weekend. Its inaugural um time being part of the World Majors, right?
Yeah, this is the first year it's gonna be a world major. That's really fun. I mean, that's awesome. The travel there for people to do it's gonna suck.
Suck.
Um, this is probably great marathoning weather for Australia, right? Because we coming out of winter in Australia? What season is
Yeah,
it
coming out
there?
of winter.
Yeah.
Coming out
So
of winter.
it's,
Yeah. Spring is what we call that in the biz.
I'm like, I know there is a name for it. I'm like, my gut, I'm like, winter coming out of the closet? No, that's not right.
That's not it. Yeah.
That's not it, but there is something, and I've said it before, and I know it. Um, so great for
So,
Sydney.
yeah, great for Sydney.
Hassan
Saf-
doing Safan Hassan things, another marathon, another win.
Another marathon,
Course record
another
time,
win.
right? 2:18.
Yep.
Who won on the men's side?
Haile Mariam Kiros of Ethiopia.
Hmm. Have you heard of him?
Eli no, Eliud Kipchoge was ninth.
I've heard of him.
Yeah,
He was ninth.
he was ninth.
Oh, washed.
Ed Ches was fifth.
I did see he ran 2:07, right? That's
Yeah,
awesome. Love to see my
yeah,
boy fucking crushing it.
yeah, boy.
Um,
Did you train much with Ed?
of course. I used to start yelling at you. I'm like, what did are you Aisha?
Are you high?
She's a, she's like, did you overlap with Ed at Oregon? I'm like,
I was
what?
hoping that would prompt some sort of
Yeah.
like cool story, Eric.
I'm like, of course I've trained with Ed. He got me. He made me. Um, but yeah, no, he's been clicking away. It seems like it was tough. Like there was a transition period going from track to the marathon that has taken some time. Um, but 2:07, I think 2:07, I think that's his PR.
Gotta
Um,
be.
but I'm not entirely sure. He's run a really good half. He's run a like sub 60 half. I'm pretty sure that you know, you're like, okay, you've obviously got the wheels. If you can get to the line and have a race that clicks, that you could really do something special. But the I'm just thinking like Eliud Kipchoge's got to be like 42, 43 now. At what
Who
point do you
knows?
hang it up? It's like he is still the icon of the sport, like the most well-known marathoner, probably the most like besides like the sprint stars worldwide, he's got to be the most well-known athlete.
Gotta be. He's
I
40.
mean, he's 40. Okay. So he's I'm sure Nike's like, look, he's got probably an ambassador contract, back to contract talk. I'm sure Nike's like, just you're gonna travel, you're gonna do just keep running, keep showing up to marathons, waving, like
Kissing
signing
babies.
babies. What did I said? Signing babies.
And I said kissing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what do
we call that
like
season?
what do they do? Yeah, what do they do?
Your baby's
I'm like,
got
I know.
Sharpie on their head.
Yeah. I'm like, they like hold out their baby, obviously for a kiss, and they just sign them, and they're like, what the fuck? Why did you sign his forehead? This is Sharpie. I gotta scrub this shit. I gotta take a Brillo pad of this baby now.
And he's not gonna like it.
Like, oh great. Thanks for signing my baby, dude. I'm not voting for you anymore. You fucking signed my baby. You're out of your mind, man. But yeah, Kipchoge's he's not winning. He's not winning.
But he's not
That's
winning,
okay.
but who cares? He's also still 9th in major marathons. Like, we celebrate, I mean, with Connor and Clayton kind of changing this a bit. We celebrate top 10 in a major for American athletes. Like that's a big deal. And so I guess if you're the GOAT and now you're top 10, you're like, oh, wash, whatever. But it's like, that's still a really big deal. And it's still very good at 40 years old.
It's still a very big deal. It's still very good. And obviously I'm being very tongue-in-cheek and playful when I say washed. But like, I mean, as far as, I'm not saying he should literally stop running, but
Eliud, you actually didn't make the cut. You're not welcome at the Chicago Marathon.
Yeah, like you're fucking washed. You probably won't even qualify for Boston, just like getting it. Like you're washed, dude. It's all good. You've had an absolutely unbelievably career, best in history, maybe washed.
Maybe he just needs a beekeeper coffee. Maybe that's all he needs.
Yes.
It's just a little hit of caffeine, a little hit of Eugene, Oregon Tracktown sourced honey. Maybe, a latte, maybe just the new horchata flavor. Eliud, please use code CITIUS25 at checkout, wherever you buy your beekeeper coffee, like Amazon. Maybe you need to go pick it up in stores, wherever beekeeper is sold near you when you're in LA, at Erewhon, whatever you need to do. Maybe it's just the little boost you need.
That's all I needed. You need a little beekeeper coffee. Great ad read, Aisha. Again, you're brilliant. But no, obviously the when you're at the top like Eliud, any sort of fall, like not a fall, but it's just like, look, he's 40 years old. He beat Hicham El Guerrouj for a gold medal in 2003 in the 5K. At the tender age of 18 years old, right? Like this guy's career has been unbelievably long. So at some, Father Time is going to be undefeated.
Comes to collect.
Father Time will come to collect. And he should just be thankful that it's not the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Okay?
Seriously, 2003 was his first world medal, gold in Paris in 2003. Like that's
he's like the LeBron. Like you hear these stats that LeBron right now is playing in the NBA against guys that weren't even born yet when he entered the league. Like when Cooper Lukenhaus wasn't born when Eliud Kipchoge was beating Hicham El Guerrouj. It's insane stat. It's an insane stat. And also talk about a guy who like the Eliud Kipchoge has like a kind of Yoda aura, right?
Yes.
Like an
Yes.
unbelievably wise and centered and stoic, and like it's each race is an art, and you should be like grateful to even have the opportunity to race it. Um, like this is a guy who it, the the ads kind of write themselves with him. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna. It's easy, and
If you
so
combine a philosopher with the best runner of all time, you get Eliud
yeah,
Kipchoge. It's
exactly, yeah.
brilliant.
It is. Like, it is you watch him talk and, like, them stringing these ads together, and, like, fuck, I'm putting the shoes on, man, like, this is it's good stuff.
There's
He
not a lot
is
of I mean, he really is, and I think to a lot of other pro athletes, he is a source of inspiration, and you don't really see that amongst contemporaries where you're learning from, I mean, someone in the same sport as you at the same time. There's not a lot of people that are that influential. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, whatever, like, Mamba mentality. There are these people that exude this philosophy and this mentality that is contagious amongst their peers, but these sorts of athletes don't come along very often, and he is that for so many people. And the way he thinks about sport and life is, it's so beautiful because it does transcend just running a marathon. He's such a special human. I think he's the best. I just want to wrap him up in a blankie and make sure he doesn't catch a cold. It's like, I think he's the
I just wanna
best.
wrap him up. I wanna put him in my pocket and save him for later. Ugh. Let's see, let's do some voicemails.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's start with this. I haven't listened to all of these, but I think this is a good one.
Hello, this is Bryce from Ohio. I got done listening to that awesome episode about the drug testing, and I was really curious if there were anything specific that supported athletes with disabilities. Me personally, I'm hard of hearing, so thinking about a situation where I have my hearing aids out, and USADA, probably got that wrong, is knocking at the door, and I'm not hearing it or things like that, pun intended. Do athletes with disabilities have a little bit more, for lack of better words, leeway when it comes to potentially missing different tests or things like that? Thanks a bunch. Love the show. Bye.
That's such an interesting question.
Yeah, really good question. He said he's hard of
Also,
hearing?
yeah, yeah. First of
Very
all,
cool.
loophole for a dodgy athlete, but second of all, I'm sure there has to be some sort of accommodation for folks that need them, right? You would think.
Yeah, I mean, there would have to be. I mean, otherwise everyone would just say they're deaf. I'm like, can't hear shit, but oh, you're knocking? Couldn't hear a fucking thing, man. Huh? Still can't hear you.
I mean, athletes have used that excuse. Like, I didn't hear the doorbell. Didn't hear
Oh,
it.
yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But
I'm
they
sure
will. I'm sure there is, but also, I mean, they'll text you.
they'll
They'll call
text you
you.
unless it's outside of your hour. But I would imagine that there would be a stipulation that if it is within your hour and you do have like a registered disability, that they would have to make accommodations. I mean, that would just be lawful,
And you would
right?
also, I'm sure that like if you're getting set up with if you're a pro right on the entering the scene now, you're getting drug tested, you would talk to somebody in USADA and say, hey, look, I'm hard of hearing, I can't really hear the doorbell, I need to make sure that I'm not missing these tests, so there's got
And I know that
can you
there
make
are
sure that you
different
do something when you come?
I read this book last year. think it was called True Biz, and it's about a deaf school. It's a novel, but I learned a lot about the deaf community, and I think there are different like there are doorbells that like have strobing lights, or like to like alert a deaf person that the doorbell is ringing. Like there are so many different
Yeah, of course.
technological
Yeah.
advances, but interesting question.
Yeah, I
Interesting
liked it.
question. Yeah. All right. Well, if you're trying to evade a drug test, maybe that's something you could use.
They're like, "Hey, buddy, have you ever heard of the disco ball doorbell? You're not getting out of it that easy."
Okay, I have not heard this voicemail. I don't know what it's about.
Poppin', Eric and Aisha. Jimbo, 200 meters here with a little question for you
No
guys.
fucking way.
Since you both probably seen your share of injuries and rehab in the past. So I messed up my hip running the 200 in high school, as one does. And since then, my mobility's been absolutely fucked. And I've tried practically everything to fix it with no luck. And, you know, I'm not too upset about how it's affecting my athletic endeavors anymore. I'm getting old. But what I really can't live with is how it's been affecting my life in the bedroom. You see, it's like I have a life sentence to missionary, and every time I try to spice things up, my hip is out of commission for weeks. So I was just wondering if you guys had any secret hip mobility hacks or magic tricks to help me out. I'm all ears. I'm ready to bust out of this one-position prison and get moving like I'm in Cirque du Soleil. So just want to say I appreciate the advice in advance, and I hope that you guys keep crushing the pod. I know you will. Peace out, y'all.
Jimbo, this is Jimbo. Jimbo was the one that got on my ass about Sophie Rain, said, "Shut up and dribble those titties." Guy can't fuck. Guy can't fuck. So he's got some problem with his hip.
He's got a problem with his hip.
And now he needs
and
hip
he needs
mobility.
help. Now he needs help. Jimbo, we probably need a little bit more specifics, but
Yeah. Tell him to get on peptides. You on
sh-
peptides yet?
no, are you?
Of course.
Maybe that would help with
Of
my
course.
knee. What does that even mean? What are peptides?
They're amino acid chains. Chains of amino acids. Help your body in all sorts of ways. Now that you know, USADA's not knocking on my doorbell anytime soon, I'm getting on all the stuff.
All right. Peptides. Do you put them on?
Jimbo could use some stuff.
Do you put them on,
but also,
on the ouchie spot, or is it just like all over?
I mean, if it's like your knee, you're not going to want to necessarily like direct inject it into your knee. You could go intramuscular, you could go subcutaneous.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm just giving an injectable peptide lesson.
Maybe he could do some hurdle walkovers, maybe some 90-90 windshield wipers.
If you don't want to go right to drugs.
Yeah.
You don't want to go right to drugs. You could do some step overs.
Yeah, just a little bit of hip mobility, spending time in your end ranges. Maybe for me, Jimbo, what's helped me is going to Pilates, because I'm really strengthening in my end ranges. That's something that could help you, Jimbo.
Yeah, work on those end ranges. Get on the sauce.
Some Pilates.
Get some Pilates. Get back in the game, bud.
Okay, here's one more. Again, I don't know what this is. We'll see if I reveal too much about myself.
Maybe we have to start vetting these questions.
I used to, but now we're going crazy.
Hey guys, it's Jimbo, 200 meters again.
Okay,
sorry for the double.
Nope, sorry, we can't. Sorry, Jim. Yeah. Sorry, Jim.
Jimbo's like, I'm trying to jack off and I just can't. Yeah. We're like, okay. I'm like, we can only do one Jimbo question an episode. I'm like, I like them, but they are a lot.
Okay, here we go.
Hey guys, Chris from CT here again. I also don't condone violence, but I do also have a proposal for a full contact elimination mile. It's a race with 24 athletes. It's 4 laps, 1,609 meters. After each lap, the 4 last place runners are eliminated. And the only reason we're doing that is we want to string out the field as much as possible. No sit and kick. We want it to be brutal. We want everybody to be all over the place. Because here's the kicker. There's a $1 million prize pot to be shared with any athlete who crosses the finish line. Once you cross the finish line, you're permitted to use any amount of physical force to remove your competitors from the track. If they hit the turf, the infield, or the fence before they cross the line, they're out. So we have a strung out, wild 5K, big finish, and then the finishers turn around and brawl with their competitors. I think there's a lot of promise here for bringing the physical contact element to long distance running. Anyway, see ya.
Repeat caller again.
There's a lot going on with that one. I a bit lost. I'm like, truthfully, there's like so much going on. I'm like, I need to print out copy of this question. I need like a rule book. There's a rule book.
It's the tones of Dunshire. Like, there's too many rules. There's too many rules.
Yeah. I'm like, according to section 2C of that voicemail, the rules are, I was like, he's like, and here's the kicker. I'm like, buddy, there's been like 13 kickers. And she,
too many rules. But I do like the idea of having some contact, a full contact race. I would be down for that. He lost me at all the rules. But $1 million also sounds great. I mean, I don't know. Sign me up. We'll see how it goes.
Michael Johnson's right now. He's like, $1 million. Yeah.
Michael Johnson's like, can you give me that guy's number? I think this will save the league.
He's like, I like that rule. Yeah. You know how like the beer mile became really popular for a bit? Beer mile just kind of came up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Have you ever done one?
I have not done one, no. But like the beer mile, it's not as popular anymore, but like the beer mile, I'm pretty sure Corey Belmore, the beer mile world record holder, raced Ellen. Like she was on the Ellen show doing a beer mile. Right?
Really?
Like, yeah. And so the beer mile, remember the Ellen show before she got absolutely put in the trash can for being a fucking bitch?
Yeah.
They're like, she would probably, and it's just like, did she deserve it? Probably not.
Oh my God, you're right.
I know. Yeah, so Corey Belmore was on Ellen. But that
I think it was Lewis Kent.
Who the fuck is Lewis Kent? How the hell did Corey Belmore get?
He's the world champion.
The world champion, world record holder, or Lewis Kent's the world champion?
World champion, yeah, I guess.
I'm more of a Corey, in my humble opinion, I'm just more of a Corey Belmore guy. But to each their own.
Yeah.
But like it would be funny to see like, okay, it's like you can have both. You can have like track and field and you can run your regular 1500s and then you can have the contact, no holds barred 1500. But here's the problem. It's like people don't. Now it's like, okay, do I train? Am I training for? I'm clearly now you have to fight. It's like
I got to train for strength and speed, and now
I have to fight these guys.
Sparring, like that's a sport. That's another sport.
That's another sport. Now we're getting into more sports are bad. You're adding a whole other sport to this whole thing. So yeah. I'm like, honestly, there's a lot going on. I couldn't follow the rules and truth be told, but I do. I think there's room in this sphere of running to have different kind of offshoots of events like the beer.
I agree.
Mile, like other things. That we don't need to have, Josh Kerr and Jakob in the no holds barred, 1500, but it'd be like a really fun, like Mr. Beast video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my take.
Yeah, I agree with your take. We'll see.
We'll
if
see.
there were any listeners that want to add it to their league.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Call in, leave us a voicemail. We haven't had a lot of female callers in a while, so
Yeah, let's get our female callers
we
up.
got to get the
bad,
ladies
please.
back.
If the ladies do not call, it will just be whatever Jimbo 200 calling up with sex stories, and Aisha's just gonna play them. So we
love.
we don't mind them, but we wouldn't mind some diversity in the calling space. And there probably have been some females that.
Yeah, I'm just
We don't
clicking on
Yeah.
randoms. We don't know.
Let's do one more.
Okay, let's do one more. Here we go. Hold on. Matt can edit this out.
What's up, guys? My phone died first time setting this lead voicemail, so I don't know how much you got.
Oh wait, Mac edit this out because that's the same question. He like basically said who would win if we did a full contact race between us and Chris Chavez.
The people
we
want
never
us to race
answered.
Chris Chavez so bad.
So bad.
Did you see Chris ran a 10K and he averaged like 6 flat pace?
You think you can take him?
I get less confident by the day.
It's a fellow New Englander here. I guess my question for you all is not who's the most, I guess, positive influence on you has been.
This is a good one. Okay, Mac, you can hit play now. Okay, here we go with another question.
They're not going to edit it out. You know how they do.
They're just going to do us dirty.
It's a fellow New Englander here. I guess my question for you all is not who's the most, I guess, positive influence on you has been during your running career. I want to know who's the worst influence. Who has had the worst influence on you during your running career? You obviously don't have to name them by name, but maybe an example or a story of a teammate of yours or somebody else that's just kind of gotten you into some diabolical stuff. I guess Eric probably gonna be dragging Craig pretty hard in this one, so curious if you've got any fun stories. Thanks.
Worst influences. That's interesting.
The worst influence. Yeah. Who's the worst influence?
I don't think there's any. Actually, no, I'll give you my worst influence. Alberto Salazar. Now, ever heard of him? Now, it's not for me because of any drug-related stuff. He just absolutely trained me and trained me right into the ground my first year at the Oregon Project. And then I think, here's the thing. Like, there's like, Alberto's had a huge influence on the like American sport of running, as certainly as far as coaching wise goes. Now you can say, right, he worked alongside, obviously I then went with Pete, right, who kind of trained me the whole time, but it's like Pete was Alberto's assistant. You're going to take a lot of influence from that. But before that, it was Jerry Schumacher, right? You're going to take influence, whether it's going the opposite way and saying, I saw what Alberto did and I didn't like it, so I'm going to do different things. I liked what he did in these aspects of it, so you're going to take and use that. But that's still, influencing it. And then Dathan, like think about Dathan. Like Dathan was an Alberto guy. Certainly, I'm sure there's similarities, just like there's same with Jerry, just like Pete. And of course it's incredibly different, but influential nonetheless. When I got there, I was just getting worked day in, day out by Galen, Mo Farah, Centro, Cam Levins, all the best guys. And I was like, I'm really fighting for my life here, hanging on. This sucks. Training too hard. Like training now has become unbelievably scientific and so dialed in. And when I was like entering the Oregon Project, it wasn't anything like that. It's like, okay, here's the workout. We're going to run very hard, way too hard. I never did like a true threshold session in my life.
Yeah. It's just like a prescribed pace that you're hanging on to for dear life.
It's like you start at around threshold and you get faster. And then it really just and you are never at threshold. And then it's like, God forbid, you're at someone's threshold. And you're like, God forbid, it's like Galen feels good that day. Well, you're going to get worked. Centro feels good that day. You know, it was just like a carousel of training unbelievably hard, but there's no threshold. Like, there was never like, oh, we're just going to run like, 5:10 for the mile. We'll take your blood and we'll see what you're at. It's like, you're just going to run 10 times a mile at like fucking 4:45 and we'll reevaluate.
You're at the threshold of death.
But I didn't have, like, he said, he mentioned Craig. Like, Craig was a bad influence on me. All of my teammates were unbelievably good influence on me. I look back at like my experience running, and it's like I don't miss competing. I don't miss there's aspects of competing I miss. I miss like the adrenaline rush of like winning a race, or I miss kind of like the long-term planning and feeling like you're so like really involved and motivated for these long-term big goals in your life. But I miss like the people you're meeting, the teammates. I miss like training with my teammates. I miss the everyday interactions and things like that. Like, so I wouldn't say that any of my teammates were a bad influence on me. I honestly feel like all my teammates, honestly, the opposite. It's like you want to be better because of your teammates, and you help lift each other up. So I don't have any, I wouldn't never throw any teammates under the bus like that.
I have to echo. Like the only time of a bad influence I could ever think was when I was in college. We had a bit of a partying issue on like the greater track team. And then there were just some like nutritional issues happening when people are on the weekends drinking, 100 Busch Lights. And it wasn't really anyone on our like on the distance side that was like a perpetrator of like just really not taking care of their body, but they thought that one of the fixes was going to be bringing in a nutritionist. Like the worst nutrition advice I've literally ever heard in my life. And like some of like the sound bites like stuck with me of like, that's really interesting. And like demonizing egg yolks. It's like, what an odd thing to say. But I remember like luckily having a good coach who we got out of this like team meeting, and he like circles out the distance people and he's like, forget everything you just heard. Like anything that you just heard, like just don't even, like that's not gonna be where we're getting any benefits. Like throw all of everything that was just said in the trash can. But I think that was really the only time where I was like given bad advice or whatever. If anyone was a bad influence, it was just my psyche telling myself to like do more, train harder, like put my own self in a hole because I felt I needed to. But luckily, I don't know. There's so many good people in the sport. I think in some ways we talk about like the bad people in the sport a lot, because there are some and they do freaking suck, but there are so many great people in this sport and so many great influences. Like they're everywhere. So
yeah,
shout out.
No, I mean, as you're saying, I'm like, yeah, maybe I was the bad influence on all these guys. I don't know.
No,
I'm like,
no
oh
way.
God. Yeah. I'm like, oh fuck. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say there's really bad influences. It's all just like one big learning process. Obviously there's bad people.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no bad people.
Yeah, Nick Johnson.
Yeah, no, obviously
Alberto.
there's people that you kind of want to learn from and not do anything like that. But you learn from them.
Yeah, you do. You never fail, you just learn.
You never fail, you just learn. Great, Aisha.
Kipchoge's probably got a great quote on that.
Yeah, Kipchoge's listening to it and he's like just naming bad influences. He's like, you guys. He's like, you're bad, Eric.
You're really bad.
You're bad.
Well, this has been fun.
Really good. Really fun one today, Aisha. I missed you.
Miss you too. See you next week.
See you next week. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.